Hi again, it's Richard Harvey, the Creative Warrior, and I'm here to share an introductory video about mindful awareness practices. This one's about what works. I'm offering what I've learned from my teachers. They learned from their teachers and a long lineage of teachers and practitioners that have been doing mindful awareness practices for thousands of years. And these are ideas, strategies, and tools that seem to work to get people back into mindful awareness when the mind pops up with thoughts. I'm going to bring up a bullet point list of different ideas to go over, and I hope they are beneficial for you. Thank you. And here I am on the right side, small, and let me just share bullet by bullet what's going on. This is observing what works to bring you back to mindful awareness and concentration. There are a lot of different skills that seem to help. First of all, there's always going to be a monkey mind, most likely. Maybe the advanced practitioners who have really dedicated their life to it, not so much, but for the rest of us who are in learning, at least for me, the monkey mind is going to pop in, thoughts pop up. What can we do with the monkey mind? The monkey mind loves a job. Some of the ways of giving it a job are, for instance, it could just be calling a thought arising. Instead of thinking the thought, when we do that, the monkey mind is going to be satisfied with having done something with the thought, and the thought can diminish. Or it could be naming it anger, or it could be naming it a name. There's different types of naming. Or monkey mind, while I'm doing my practice, can you go make me lunch? I mean, it may sound silly, but the monkey mind loves something to do. And then you can go back to your observing the breath or observing whatever it is that you're doing with mindful awareness. Another thing that helps when thoughts arise or we break away from observing our object is to observe whatever's coming up with equanimity. Equanimity, knowing that things come and pass. For instance, if I'm talking with you at length now, perhaps I'm feeling a little bit of tightness in my neck and my shoulders, and I can adjust a little bit, but mostly that tightness will come and pass, and realizing it may diminish it. I talked about naming thoughts earlier. There's also observing how thoughts make us feel. The body is a great refuge from thoughts, and maybe a worrying thought will cause us to feel something in a certain part of our body. For me, it's often in the belly, maybe a tightness in the lungs or something. As I am having a thought that worries come up while I'm doing my mindful awareness practice, I can just go into the body and I can observe where it feels, where the feelings are on the body. If there's a tightness, if there is a tingling, if there is crampiness, or if something pleasant comes up, a thought comes up, maybe the mouth is watering, a piece of chocolate cake comes to mind, and the mouth is watering, and the mind is thinking, I can't wait to eat the chocolate cake. You could call that thought chocolate cake or whatever. But the main thing is to observe as it comes and it goes, go back to the object of awareness, or the thought can become the object, how it comes and goes, and then we can study the beginning, middle, and end, and not study but observe, and then we are gaining insight into things that come, that stay, and that go, that things change. Observing how they make us feel, we can, interestingly, sometimes during mindful awareness practices, the practice can shift into just being about thoughts arising. The funny thing about that is that often when we choose to just focus on thoughts, thoughts don't come. It's when we're trying to be aware of something else, some other object, then the thoughts come. But a mindful awareness practice that observes thoughts often will bring us to not having many thoughts come up. Or we can observe how the thoughts happen, how they arise, how they come to the forefront, how they go away. We can observe if a thought is pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral and call it either one. And we can observe or direct awareness to the thoughts with compassion. Just, if something is causing us to suffer, then we send some love. Embracing the thoughts with compassionate awareness is another way of saying it. And then being aware of the awareness. So I talked about this, I think, in both videos before just a little bit, but if we have a thought, imagine putting the thought on a stage and we're in a theater. The awareness is in the seats and the thought is on the stage, and the awareness is just watching the thought, just observing it, and just maybe even with loving compassion. And there's that observation, that awareness. And then we move outside of the theater and we can become aware of the awareness itself. Doesn't mean that the thought has gone away. It's just we are aware of awareness. These different layers of awareness are cultivating. The skill is cultivating. So these are different ways that will bring us back to awareness, bring us back to concentration, bring us back to observation. Those are some of the skills that I've learned from people who have been my guides in this process. I'm hoping that understanding those skills can be of service to you. Thank you again for being with me in this third video, which is about the things that can help in mindful awareness practices if they are interrupted by thoughts, even though the thoughts aren't separate, they are just opportunities to practice more mindful awareness. Thank you. All right.